Have you ever wished you could live in a perfect world? You know, a world with no chaos, no mess, just perfect order? Well, today, we're going to take a little trip to that perfect shore, but we're also going to find out about the seriously dark price of admission.
So our source material kicks things off with this simple but really powerful question. Just imagine it for a second. Picture yourself standing here in our kind of messy, complicated world, and you're looking across the water to another shore, a better shore. What do you see?
Over there, everything just works. The traffic flows perfectly. Public services are flawless. Any problem that pops up gets solved almost before it even starts. It's a world of total security, where every single rule is enforced, instantly.
And it's not just that it works, it's beautiful. We're talking pristine parks, gorgeous architecture, and everyone, I mean everyone, is happy, polite, and just perfectly put together. In this world, how things look really is everything.
Okay, so what we're describing here, it really feels like it's been pulled straight out of a sci-fi novel, doesn't it? It's that kind of sanitized, structurally perfect world we've all read about, where amazing technology and systems have basically engineered away every hard part of life, maybe even death itself.
It's an incredibly tempting vision. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want that? Especially when you compare it to the chaos and frustration, the mud, as our source calls it, of our own world. The appeal is just undeniable. But wait a second. Just stop. In this perfectly running, absolutely beautiful world, there's one simple, kind of chilling question that changes everything. Who is actually running the show?
And that one question, it just pulls the whole curtain back on the one thing this perfect vision tries so hard to hide, the huge problem of control. Who's pulling the strings in this perfect little paradise? And what does that power really look like?
And here it is. This is the central conflict, the big trade-off, the promise of perfection, all that order and safety. It comes at a really steep, hidden price. The very things we say we cherish, things like equality, diversity, and real freedom, well, they just can't survive under that kind of total control.
You see, to keep this level of perfection going, the system can't just punish people who step out of line. No, it has to go way further. Any potential problems, any dissenting opinions, failures of any kind, they wouldn't just be managed, they would be systematically wiped out before they could even begin.
And the source material really doesn't mince words here. It argues that anytime someone claims they can create a perfect, standardized society, what you're really seeing is an authoritarian, dictatorial impulse from the very beginning. It's the desire to force one version of good onto everybody.
So what does this impulse actually do? Well, it basically declares war on everything that makes us human. It attacks our differences. It crushes any kind of opposition, which makes any real progress totally impossible. And of course, it hides its true power behind this thick wall of secrecy.
So, if that perfect static world isn't progress, then what is? Well, this is where our source offers a completely different idea. Maybe progress isn't a destination we can arrive at all.
Instead, real progress is actually a messy, never-ending process, right? It's a state of continuous back and forth between different groups and ideas. It means we have to be constantly searching, challenging, and even actively opposing things. It's not still, it's always moving.
So this leaves us with two very different paths. On one side, you have this passive, automated life, where you're basically just a cog in the machine. On the other side, you have an active life, one that embraces the struggle and the search as the very things that give it meaning.
So when you boil it all down, the crucial point is this. That beautiful illusion of the perfect shore, it hides a terrible price. In exchange for predictable comfort, we'd have to give up the very chaos, the struggle, the opposition, the very dynamism that makes us human.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to chew on. That mud of our world, our beautiful, frustrating, unpredictable mess, could it be that this is simply the price we have to pay for being truly free?